Hey guys, 7 WWE Rocks here. Thank you for joining me on episode 19 of Saturday Night's Kickout. Maybe a little short. I say that now, but watch the video is probably gonna be like 30 minutes. But I'm gonna try to keep it short. And also, there was no TNA Impact this past week, so really I have none of that to talk about. And so, gonna be talking about Survivor Series, Raw, little Lucha Underground, some NXT, and talk more about the CM Punk podcast. We'll see how things go. Got my notes right here, so basically we just want to get all that out of the way. Let's kick off right that happened last Sunday, Survivor Series. Now, Survivor Series started out in the worst possible way. Yes, a promo with the Authority, Triple H, Stephanie, and Vince McMahon. Now, my buddy Big Ray at the Can-Am Wrestling Show, be sure to check out his episodes each Saturday. Usually it's each Saturday with Andre Corbeil. And, be sure to check that out. But Big Ray tweeted that Survivor Series, a pay-per-view, should never start off with a promo. And I hate to bash on WWE, but he hit the nail just right on the head because it's this big pay-per-view. We already know Team Authority versus Team Cena. We know these stipulations. They didn't need that promo to start off the show. Wasted about 30 minutes. It just made me feel like they didn't have enough matches to go. And I just really hate that. And the main event went freaking 45 minutes, I think. So it wasn't even like they were on time consuming. I don't know why they started off with the promo, but it was just awful to do. And but moving on from that, kicked off with promo, really, just basically talking about the stipulations again. I guess getting the fans more pumped up, but that's what SmackDown's for. And so that's what Raw and SmackDown's for. So moving on, we had Miz and the Miz Tag Team Championships, which I think was the best thing to do because that's where all the golden freaking segments are gonna lead into. The Golden Stardust, the Dust Brothers. There was no reason for them to really even have the Tag Team Championships. I didn't really get the point of that. Los Matadores now, Usos, they already had their run. The perfect team to win was Miz and Mizdow. And I'm hoping it's finally going to lead to the split. It already looks like they already aren't on the same page. It looks like Miz is taking all the glory to himself while Mizdow is he's the obvious favorite of the two. But, I see a split coming, and hopefully it's for, United States Championship. Not with Rusev. Hopefully it's some big feud that really heats up. But, so moving on. Moving on, we had Nikki Bella win the Divas Championship in the 15-second match. The highlight of that match, though, was Brie kissing AJ Lee. Yes, Brie Bella kissed AJ Lee and distracted her. Nikki got the win. So basically, Brie's contract thing where she's Nikki's like personal assistant, that is up. The 30 days are up, yet they're still on the same side. Apparently, really nothing's gone into that. They haven't asked Brie, why are you still on your sister's side? I thought you hated her. But they're just saying family comes first. They haven't even interviewed Brie, so I don't really get it. But, they're on the same side, so it looks like we still got the heel Bellas. Still think it's going to lead to maybe the WrestleMania match against Nikki and Brie for the Divas Championship. I think that's what it's leading to. Who knows? After that, we had Ambrose. This was before the Divas match, but still. Ambrose got DQ'd against Bray Wyatt. He basically hit him with the disqualified himself. He didn't even care about the match. Then it was just like, it was perfect. It was like, he brought out tables. He brought out the chairs, of course. Good thing TLC's coming next month. I bet he figured that out. He was like, you know what? TLC's coming up next month. How about I use some tables, ladders, and chairs? But thought that was kind of funny. So he used all those. He put Bray Wyatt through a table, climbed up a ladder, just stood up there. I thought he was going to jump off. But it is set TLC Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose. But what is it for? Is it going to be a regular TLC where they climb up and get something, or maybe they're going to pin each other? We saw the Shield versus who was it? Kane and Bryan and Ryback, I think, in that TLC match, but it was whoever got the pin. It was for nothing. So maybe it's for that. Maybe it's for a number one contendership after Cena and Brock face each other at the Royal Rumble, I'm sure. But so after that, leading up to it, kind of crappy to see, but the guy really could get the win because it would look the other one bad, and both guys needed a win. So I'm glad that happened. But it makes me think who's going to win at TLC because I still think both guys need a win. But we'll see what happens. So after that, main event time, it was Team Cena versus Team Authority. I went through it in a personal video. Won't go too in-depth into it because I don't want to bore you guys. You all knew what happened. Ziggler freaking stole the show. Big Show knocked out Cena, got him pinned. So it was literally two guys on Team Cena were out of the picture. Big Show walked out. He knocked out Cena, getting Cena pinned. Ziggler down by himself just stole the show. Him and Rollins did freaking amazing. And of course, Sting, probably like the best moment in WWE in a really, really long time. So we had Sting. It was one of those moments everyone's saying it was when time stood still in the WWE. It was the stare down between Triple H and Sting was so great. And some people said it lasted too long. I just think it was hyping up the crowd. Got the kick, kicked him, and then put him in Scorpion Death Drop, put him up and down on the mat, picked up Ziggler, put him on Rollins. Ziggler got the win. And I think it was Team Ziggler. I don't even think it was Team First came out at the end, hugged Ziggler. Ziggler did it all by himself. But so I'm thinking they're going to do Sting versus Triple H at Royal Rumble. I don't know how they're going to get Triple H back in the storyline. But we'll see what happens. I'm still hoping for Sting versus Undertaker at WrestleMania, but maybe Sting versus Triple H. Maybe, they've been hyping. They haven't been hyping up, but they've been putting a seed in for Triple H versus The Rock. They planted that seed, so if The Rock is free, he's not doing any movies or anything, maybe he can do versus Triple H one last time at WrestleMania. But we'll see what happens. But Survivor Series, that ending was easily the greatest pay-per-view ending in a really long time. Pay-per-view itself wasn't that great, but the ending, it's like a Walking Dead episode. Nothing happens the first 45 minutes, and finally at the end, some big cliffhanger, some awesome moment happens, and everyone thinks it was a great episode because they forget the first 45 minutes. All they remember is the ending. Kind of felt like that, but let's move on. Let's go with Raw. So Team Authority is out of power, yet they started the show, and I do not get why they did that. I think it should have started with Cena coming out. Cena happy or something. I still think Sting should have came out, maybe done a promo or something, then bring out the Authority. I don't know. But yeah, Authority came out, basically said, you're going to miss us, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be nothing without us. That led to Daniel Bryan coming out. Daniel Bryan is the host of Raw for that week. He also hosted SmackDown. I'm not really going to talk about SmackDown. I didn't watch all of it. I did watch more than I usually do, though. Daniel Bryan is the host of Raw only for that week, and basically he was doing the yes chant in front of Triple H and Stephanie as they left the arena pissed off. So Daniel Bryan is the host of Raw and the GM, the part-time GM for Raw, and basically the entire night was just making the Team Authority look bad. So Rusev, he had to sing the national anthem, even though he didn't. He got off the hook. But on SmackDown, Daniel Bryan still made him defend his belt in a battle royal for the United States Championship, which, of course, he won. Luke Harper had to defend against Dean Ambrose. Not Big Show, I'm sorry. I'll talk about Big Show later. Kane was Concessions Kane. Mark Henry, he versed Ryback, and Ryback, killed him in about 2 seconds. Match was so short. Basically, it was like 30 minutes into Raw, and nothing had been Bryan was making his jokes. I mean, I love seeing Bryan. He made jokes, but he didn't overdo it, so I thought that was great. He was still serious, but he talked way too long, I think, and it was just boring. And finally, we get into a match, Ryback versus Henry. Ryback kills Henry in about 2 seconds, but excuse me. Moving on, we had Team Authority got punished. I already said that, but Big Show, he basically was about to start crying again. I forget. I don't even. He might have cried, but he's basically saying, you're not in a position that I was. You were, in the fear of losing your job and not being able to support your family, blah blah blah. So he's saying to the fans, they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know who the heck he is, blah blah blah. Eric Rowan comes out, takes off his mask, and just says, "I don't like bullies," and just beat the crap out of Big Show. So I'm looking forward to Eric Rowan versus Big Show, something new, a battle of the giants. And but I'm glad Eric Rowan's doing something. Myself, I always said he's not going to do anything after the Wyatt family split up, and here he is doing something in a big feud, I guess, with Big Show now. So I'm glad for him. I'm glad that they've made him into a good baby face. So that's really good. I think that's something I didn't see coming. And I said multiple times that he's going to have no career after this, but here he is. So I'm glad for him. After that, basically, I'm going to skip a lot because, Raw was kind of boring, to be honest. Noble and Mercury and Rollins would team up to verse Cena and Ziggler. Yes, the fans voted in the WWE app where they got to choose Seth Rollins' partners, and, of course, they chose Noble and Mercury. So it was 93% chose those two. So I was like, dang, I did not see that coming. But, a lot of people say it's fixed. 93%, I don't know. That's a big number. But basically, Cena and Ziggler got the win. They beat the crap out of Noble and Mercury as Rollins hightailed it out of there. He just watched as his J&J security team got the crap beaten out of him. I love the fact when Jamie Noble said that backstage that him, Mercury, and Seth Rollins, they're like the Shield version 2.0. I thought that was really funny. They got their butts kicked, and Raw ended in really awkward and stupid ending. Basically, it's over. Yes, Cena's all happy. You know, Ziggler's happy, and you hear ba-da-doon, ba-da-doon. You know, the anonymous GM laptops thing going off. Michael Cole couldn't be happier. JBL and Jerry Lawler are like, please no. They were thinking what we were thinking. We were like, no. Michael Cole gets up. May I have your attention, please? I just received an email, blah, blah, blah. You know, and I quote said next week the power is going to be restored. It's not going to be chaotic anymore. I am back. The anonymous GM is back. He's not anonymous. I hope the WWE realizes Hornswoggle was revealed to be the anonymous GM like a while ago. I don't know if they're going to bring that up. Somebody, maybe a wrestler can make a joke out of it saying, I thought you were Hornswoggle. But maybe Cena will do that. Who knows? But so Michael Cole, you know, it ended with the laptop making that noise over and over and over again. And I was like, what's happening? It was really weird, really stupid ending, and that's how it ended. Just went off the air with the stupid sound thing going off. But yeah, WWE, we know it's Hornswoggle. Don't try to pull this crap on us. Make it somebody good, dang it. But yeah, Raw was kind of boring, not gonna lie. But let's move on. They made the announcement that I'm really pumped for, and I'm gonna talk more about it because it leads into something else. Basically, Stone Cold Steve Austin, his podcast, for the past few weeks, they've been plugging it. They've been saying Stone Cold podcast, so that made everyone think maybe they're going to do something with it because the WWE usually doesn't do that. They don't plug in different wrestlers' podcasts. But Vince McMahon on the following Raw, or this week's Raw, after Raw, man, will be on Stone Cold's podcast. I'm really looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be really fun to watch, fun to listen to, fun to get his thoughts on one particular subject. I'm going to bring it up later. It has something to do with the title of this video, but we'll get on that later. Basically, I think it just wants they're doing that the free subscribers to sign back up because it ends tomorrow. Yeah, their subscription for the free version of this network, it ends tomorrow. So now let's move on to NXT. I'll get back to Stone Cold's podcast. Moving on to NXT, Kevin Owens, his new promo came out where he finally said he is Kevin Owens. This promo makes me think he's going to come in as a babyface because it showed his family. It showed he's scratched and clawed 14 years to get to this, and he's finally in the WWE, and he's going to fight everyone in his way to get to the main roster, I guess. But, yeah, really pumped. That makes me think he's going to be babyface. Now, I honestly don't know if he's going to have event. I wouldn't be surprised if he just had a squash match where during the NXT R Evolution pay-per-view event thing, just he comes out, the fans cheer, he beats the crap out of some guy, and that's it. Maybe that happens, and then it comes out the main event, but I don't know. It just makes me think he's not going to come out at the main event. But we'll see what happens. So after that, we had Finn Balor versus Tyson Kidd, and that match ended in a brawl when the Ascension came out, got Tyson Kidd disqualified because they attacked Finn Balor. So Hideo Itami came out, and him and Finn Balor teamed up against the Ascension, and security came out. Other NXT wrestlers came out to separate them, but NXT ended in a huge brawl that really got me pumped for that tag match. So it has been announced. Hideo Itami, Finn Balor versus the Ascension at NXT R Evolution. Can't wait. Going to be really good. Let's move on to the thing, basically the biggest news in wrestling this week. CM Punk was on the Art of Wrestling podcast. That's Colt Cabana's podcast, and he didn't let any punches slide. He's going to talk, and he's going to say his side of the story. His first time ever explaining what really happened, and it went from, you know, the WWE doctor, I forget his name, didn't want to perform surgery on him. He didn't think it was a bad staph infection that the doctor didn't even think was anything. He didn't want to have surgery or anything. He didn't want to do surgery. CM Punk called him lazy, moved on to Ryback and CM Punk. Basically, CM Punk said Ryback took 20 years off his life by botching he did like a gorilla press, and he threw him into the table and totally missed the table, and it broke CM Punk's ribs. Basically saying it was Ryback's fault. Says Ryback has no idea what he's doing. He's just a stupid steroids big guy. And that was crazy to see. basically talked about how Triple H, like this came out later that Triple H, source inside the WWE says Triple H wants to kill CM Punk, and Colt Cabana's on their bad list. The WWE wants nothing to do with Colt Cabana. They want nothing to do with CM Punk. CM Punk says there's no working relationship with the WWE, and there never will be. Honestly, in the world of wrestling, you really can't say never. I mean, they said that about Sting. He's never going to be at WWE. Said about Ultimate Warrior. He's never going to come back. But, I mean, I'm not saying CM Punk's a liar. I'm not saying that. But, they usually do come back. I'm not going to say never in wrestling. I've seen crazier things. But Ryback, he basically fought back on Twitter. He deleted his tweets, of course. He usually does. He always tweets something really rude and then deletes it. But he tweeted that saying how CM Punk is fragile and insecure and he's just a baby. And he never once came up to him backstage and said his actions. And he said his side of the story will be told soon about CM Punk, but he just wants it to end and nobody tell him lies and blah, blah, blah. But he said thank you and then, of course, deleted the tweet. So Ryback and CM Punk going fist up fist, not really, but they're having a Twitter battle. CM Punk, I'm guessing, could care less. He says wrestling's dead to him. Basically, he's done with it. But let's go back to Stone Cold's podcast. He's going to be hosting Vince McMahon. Now, I really want to see if Stone Cold will ask Vince McMahon about the CM Punk situation. Stone Cold podcast is supposed to be no holds barred. Anything can be said, no BS. And the questions are going to be asked. So maybe he says something. I'm guessing if he does, I'm not saying he will, but if he does ask him about CM Punk, I'm guessing Vince McMahon's going to either say no comment, has nothing to say about it, or just give a generic answer like he walked out, CM Punk screwed CM Punk, leave it at that, he's done with it. I could see him passing it over really quick. But, yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. And also part 2 of CM Punk on Colt Cabana's podcast is coming out, I believe, soon, where he's going to answer fans' questions. And CM Punk himself is going to answer them, so that's cool. But I feel like he's a little more interactive in Twitter now. He's starting to answer some questions about the WWE and stuff, so that's good. I really hate that he is done with wrestling, that he just despises it. His passion's just been screwed by the WWE because they just washed him out so much. They burned him out by making him wrestle on so many things. So I never want somebody, a wrestler like of that success, be done with wrestling and just one of the best. He is the best in the world. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think on that. I really love to hear what you think. So please comment down below. And, yeah, moving on. Lucha Underground. I'm not going to get into it. I forget the wrestlers' names half the time, but there was a great street fight. It was Prince Puma. Is that his name? Prince Puma? I think it is. Prince Puma. It's Ricochet. I know that. But his Lucha Underground, his name is Prince Puma versus Big Zeke, which his name is Big Rick? Tyrick? Something like that. I don't know. It's Ezekiel Jackson. It was a good street fight. I really enjoyed it. John Morrison. His name is Johnny Mundo. I know that name. He did some like Spider-Man freaking jump off this huge ramp, this huge like scaffold, jumped off that, landed in the ring to attack Ezekiel Jackson. Looks so cool. You have to watch it. Go on Lucha Underground's Twitter. It's probably on there a lot. But yeah, he does this awesome dive into the ring. It's so cool. It's like a balcony, and he just jumps off the land. He just rolls right into the ring. It looked perfect, and it was really cool to see. So definitely, if you missed the street fight, check it out. It was really good. Okay, moving on, we're going to go to the match of the week. All the show's almost over, so hopefully I didn't take too much of your guys' time. Match of the week, going to have to go with, since it was technically last week, Team Cena versus Team Authority. The ending was fantastic. So many surprises coming. And, yeah, but the street fight was good. I don't really know what else would be up there. But, yeah, I'm going to have to go with Team Cena versus Team Authority. Kick-out segment, going to talk about all the positives in wrestling now. I think one big positive was CM Punk being on the Colt Cabana's podcast because he let his side of the story be told. He finally showed that, like everyone had been saying, everybody's been bashing him for being a quitter. Finally, he said, I was fired on my wedding day. So that was great. I think it was great. It, answered a lot of people's questions. So I think that's always good. And I'm looking forward to the part 2. Sting debuted. That was freaking awesome. They should have capitalized on it. They should have had him appear on Raw, I truly believe, done some segment or something. But they didn't. But Sting debuted. That was awesome. Ziggler had a shining moment in the Survivor Series match. So great to see him finally get a huge push. one that he deserves. TNA, they're not appearing. Next week they're going to start the best of 2014 moments or something. That'll be on Spike. But they're supposed to get a huge change, like huge turnaround. They're going to change the colors of the company. They're going to change, how it runs and such. It's going to look like a totally different company when they come to Destination America. And frankly, I'm pretty happy about that. I'm looking really forward to it. We'll see what happens now. Black Friday, their sales are going on, so you have all these wrestling sales. Hopefully you caught some on Ring of Honor is doing a sale through Cyber Monday. High Spots is doing one. Pro Wrestling Tees, WWE Shop, all that. Shop TNA, their Black Friday sales. So be sure to check it out. I know Black Friday's over with, but they usually are. A lot of the websites are going till Cyber Monday. Definitely great, positive stuff. Always good to buy stuff. But yeah, I'm going to end off the show. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow me on Twitter at 7WWE Rocks. Be sure to comment and say you like me doing this, or say some positive. Since TNA isn't going to appear till a new episode of TNA isn't going to appear till January 2015, these episodes. So please, if you have an idea for me to talk about on the show, please let me know in the comment section. I really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And as always, have a nice day. Thank you, guys.